Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 6th Annual Farmer-Neighbor Dinner. My name is Dennis Webster. I'm from radio station WJTN. I'm happy to be here to MC the 6th Annual Farmer-Neighbor Dinner. This is a time for celebration. Beautiful night in Ellington here at the Grandview, and it couldn't be more gorgeous than this. The farmers and others that I've talked to, Dan Stewart from the CMA says the crops are growing well. So this is a moment to celebrate agriculture and the interconnections of agriculture and farming and the rest of the community. It is a wonderful opportunity to do so. If you're not from a farm area, you won't have to look too far at your table or the one next to find someone who has been in agriculture in this community for a few years, a few decades, for a long time. It's my pleasure at the moment to bring to the front of the room Chautauqua County Sheriff Jim Quattrone. As you may be aware, an aggressive reminder program has been begun this summer about slow-moving vehicles in Chautauqua County. And whether you drive one or encounter one from time to time, the sheriff has a message for you.
We talk often in our traffic safety committee meetings about slow-moving vehicles, and which is really applicable for this audience, but for really anybody driving in Chautauqua County is who the message is designed for. And we see a lot of improper use of the slow-moving vehicle emblems or markers, people who use them for driveway markers. I got to look at Fred Croskett because he brings that up at every single traffic safety meeting. And we could actually issue a traffic ticket for that. I've not done that. But honestly, up until about 5 years ago when I was at a Farm Bureau meeting and they asked us about the people using the slow-moving vehicle emblems in the wrong manner, what we would do about it. And I said, well, I don't know. I didn't know it was against the law. So, we have to learn that. We have to educate not only our law enforcement, but our community as well. But I asked because we were leaving this morning to go fishing and came across a walker who had a flashlight and some lights on his side. And while he was very visible, we were right upon him in no time. And this is often what happens with our slow-moving vehicles, especially our Amish buggies that are out there. We unfortunately in this past year had a patrol car hit one of the Amish buggies. And when they are on the road, they are difficult to see, even with the slow-moving vehicle emblem, as well as the lights. And this particular one had the lights, reflective tape, as well as the slow-moving vehicle emblem. But going up a hill at about 3 to 5 miles an hour, and the car going at 55 miles an hour, it's sometimes very difficult to judge those speeds. So we just want to put a reminder out there. We're going to continue to do that. I know in other counties, they've even put signs out and around sharing the road. And we just ask people to be patient when they're approaching. And we also ask those who are operating the slow-moving vehicles to be aware. And while you have every right to be out there, but make sure you have them well marked and use the highway properly.
Robert Cross is up next. I hope you know Robert well from 3C's Catering. He's going to come and talk to us about the meal you're about to enjoy.
We started the evening tonight with the appetizers, roasted shiitake mushrooms, and the meatballs with all local ground beef. And the sauce on that was fresh peppers, onions, garlic, some tomatoes, and fresh basil out of my herb garden. So I simmered that down and did a little Italian sauce for those. Obviously the cheese, the fruit, and the vegetables. So dinner, we're gonna start with the chicken donated by Good Grass Farm. And I did a white wine sauce on that. And don't worry, all the wine is cooked out of it, so it's all safe for all ages and everything. And then pork loin, and I did a maple glaze over that. We roasted a whole lamb, who was generously donated by Sheriff Quattrone from the meat animal sales, so thank you. And then an herbed red potatoes with some butter and some fresh herbs, thyme and chives and things out of my herb garden. Bacon cheeseburger mac and cheese, again some donated ground beef from the beef producers here in Chautauqua County, and some bacon, I believe that came from Harper's, and And the cheese it's a Cuba cheese product from what I understand. So, and after that we have our vegetables, some green beans. I believe those came from Yerico's, corn from Peterson's and Yerico's, and mixed vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, summer squash, tossed salad with fresh cucumbers and tomatoes and greens from here in Chautauqua County, and we round out the meal with some honey wheat rolls with local honey and local eggs, and some just white dinner rolls. For dessert, peach crisp. Peaches I know are from Knight's, berries from April's Acres, and that comes with ice cream from Chautauqua County also. So I hope all the producers that are here, I hope that I've done your products justice, and I hope everyone enjoys the meal. So thank you.
Robert Carpenter, thank you for allowing us to use this place, your place, the Grandview, to present this Farmer Neighbor Dinner again this year. Round of applause. Coming up to me, to the two microphones to my left now, are Robert Carpenter and his grandson, Lane Carpenter. Pick a mic.
Pick a mic, huh? Well, I'm sorry I wasn't here on time and wasn't here earlier. I always look forward to greeting people in the parking lot when I assist in parking cars. Well, and I have to warn you, I haven't really prepared for this because Lisa Kempisi and I had about a 5-minute conversation on the phone, and she basically said, you can do just about whatever you want. I want you to support our youth. Well, I guess starting out, I would have to say that I've served 40 plus years on Faulkner School Board, so I've been tied to a lot of youth. So. But I'm going to let Lane go ahead with his part. He is now in his 3rd year of showing beach steers at the fair, and actually his mom would be standing here instead of me, but as many of you know, his mom is the former Shannon Carlberg who married my son, and now she is our state vet, and she is serving time in Syracuse at the state fair, checking in animals. She left Sunday, and she won't be back until tomorrow night. So I got tapped to step in and kind of support our youth as well. So I'm going to let Lane tell you a little bit about where he's been, and then I will tell you what I think about the rural youth and stuff based on my experience with school board.
Hi, my name's Lane Carpenter. I'm a member of the Frewsburg Hayseeds 4-H Club, beginning my 5th year as a 4-H regular member. I show beef, chicken, market chicken, and poultry. And I've been on my family's farm. Me and my brother are the 6th generation of our farm, and me and my mom and dad and brother raise beef, cows. We've got over about 50 head, and also I play baseball majors, Little League for BDN, and when I grow up, I want to be a welder, and my grandpa's been teaching me in our shop. Thank you.
Yeah, the welding thing goes back a long ways, I guess. When I was a sophomore in high school in our ag shop, I learned to weld, and my sophomore year, I bought my own welder at home. And back then, we didn't really have a farm shop. We were always just a 40-cow dairy farm. Well, the old exterior milk house, some of the people in the room probably remember when all the milk houses were separate from the main barn, and they were usually up more towards the house or somewhere. So the old, probably 8 by 10 milk house became shop for my welder way back then. Okay, then basically back to my school board years, I have witnessed a tremendous amount of change over those years, especially in our society. I don't have to tell anybody in this room that society has changed considerably. And I guess the part that I really appreciate is this room represents a niche in society, and this niche is very, very supportive of all these kids, 4-H, the Dairy Princess program, FFA programs, and another one that is not so much agricultural, but it's business in the schools is FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America. And these organizations have built on bringing these kids forward and doing what they want to do, and they become very productive in life. And unfortunately, when I'm looking at the changes in the school, the one thing that has changed considerably, other than the society, is technology. I mean, we can't buy technology. By the time we get it in place, it's almost, there's something better. So there's a tremendous change in technology in this time. And the part of the society side of it, I think the people in this room volunteer, they do stuff for these kids, the extension service, and we should also honor the fact that our government officials fund a lot of this, and a lot of people donate a considerable amount to sponsor these kids. The 4-H program sponsoring the beef show and things, Lane and his parents one at a time went around to many different places to ask people to support the different programs. And if you were at the Chautauqua County Fair at all and saw the big banner there for the beef program, Lane actually had the opportunity to speak with 22 of the people that contributed on that banner. So these kids get out and work, and that's the way the rural life is. I mean, the school systems have to adapt to the population, and our adaptation is basically we hire as many social workers as we do guidance counselors, and Faulkner will be starting school in 2 weeks with an armed resource officer in all 3 of our buildings. I'm sorry to say it's come to that, but it's security and it's also training, and it gives another role model for these young kids, and I think that's going to be a big plus as well. But back to these programs, all the ones that I mentioned are supported by the people in this room, and this niche society will stay the same, and these things will go forward. It has for generations and generations. If you stop and think about it, the parents of these kids probably were in some of these organizations, 4-H, FFA, Dairy Princess stuff, and there's probably 3 and 4 generations that have participated in this. And I guess the good part of the change in society, it doesn't affect our niche here. We will go on as we've gone on for years and years and years, and that is something that we can all be proud of. And what that does for us, these youth, it gives them the confidence, the creativity, and the ability to make all of us very proud of them and to progress forward in their life and their individual roles and do whatever they want. Some will be in agriculture, some will support agriculture, some will do something completely different, but we are giving these youth the ability to meet the challenges. So I think they all deserve a hand.
We're now going to move on to the awards portion of our program tonight, and I would like to have a couple of assistants come up here, Cassie Skull from the Farmer-Neighbor Committee, and Lisa Vanstrom, who is here on behalf of Senator George Perella, who will be presenting some certificates, and Christine McAllister, who's here on behalf of Congressman Langworthy, and will also be presenting some certificates on behalf of Assemblyman Andy Goodell. We will be presenting a number of awards here tonight, beginning with one for the Chautauqua County Soil and Water Conservation District. And a number of representatives from Soil and Water are in the room with us tonight. Thank you for allowing me to say the following. Cab High Farm had its beginnings on Cabbage Hill Road near Clymer in 1958, when it was founded by Herbert White and his son John. It was a pretty good-sized farm for its time, 30 cows, 65 acres of crops. The farm has grown some. Today, under the operation of John's sons, Dave and Doug's son, Greg, the farm has 485 milk cows, 375 replacement heifers, and 1,050 acres of crops. Cab High is located in a picturesque setting in the rolling hills just to the west of the village of Clymer. Look at the photos in your program. You will say, as I did, what a beautiful place. It is, in more ways than one. Since 2014, the Whites have participated in the New York State Agricultural Environmental Management Program in conjunction with the Soil and Water Conservation District to implement common sense, cost-effective, science-based practices to help both the farm and the environment. Working with the USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service, the Farm Service Agency, and the Western New York Crop Management Association, they have planned, funded, and put in place programs and structures to deal with runoff, nutrient management, and more. Some examples: a 2.5 million gallon concrete manure storage facility, a leachate collection system, a vegetated treatment area, and there's even more. Cab High is a productive farm run by a family not only with a dedicated interest in the environment and the community and agriculture, but its churches, its government, and its people as well. Truly a dairy of distinction in so many ways. The Chautauqua County Soil and Water Conservation District proudly presents its AEM Conservation Farmer of the Year Award to the White family, Cab High Farm, Clymer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Scared you there, didn't
Yeah, you did, yeah. All right. I was told, Rhonda said that, Dave, you're supposed to give a speech, and no one told me that. So first of all, a great thanks to Rhonda Lindquist for just helping us through this whole process. You know, we expanded in a hurry, and it took a lot of catch up and a lot of legwork on the part of Western New York Crop, and Rhonda's a big part of that. And the folks from the Soil and Water, that help, and then Farm Credit helping finances. So, you know, there's a lot of people in this room that helped us accomplish these things. So I just want to say thanks to them. And the rest of the family would have been here tonight, but he was coaching CSP Modified guys. He's the head coach of that group. And then my brother, Doug, is getting his son ready to go off to college. And Sheriff, he's pursuing a career in law enforcement, so maybe we're grooming one for you. So, but thank you, everyone, for this award. And it's just, it's good. Oh, I'm supposed to introduce my lovely wife of 42 years. This is my wife, Brenda. So, and we just moved off of the farm. We're starting to think about the retirement word a little bit. So, and so we're leaving it off to the next generation in a couple of years.
So we moved on to Homeland Farm.
Yeah, we moved back to the original farm where my grandfather farmed. So
Grow cabbage, right?
growing cabbage. Yeah. 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 So, thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's an honor to be here tonight on behalf of the Congressman, and he's asked me to bring this certificate of congressional recognition signed by him. And Assemblyman Andy Goodell also gave me a certificate to present to you on his behalf. So
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, okay.
On behalf of Senator Borrello, who is a ranking member on the New York State Senate Agriculture Committee, which is very near and dear to his heart, he's very vocal. He was all over YouTube this afternoon, if anybody remembers that. My farmers from town of Dunkirk over here, Roberto, Fred, thank you for participating in that as well. Thank you, neighbor. Yes. So on behalf of Senator Borrello, thank you for your commitment to agriculture. I love food, and so does he. And we like things that come out of the ground. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Okay.
Sorry.
He asked me to take the microphone if I'd like. I'm not going to drag this out, excuse me, but I'm going to say we do this award annually, and I know a lot of people in here. I know there's a lot of grunt and hard work going on here. We appreciate it. There's a lot of entities in here that'll help with your efforts. There's money coming out. There's help. Reach out to us, and we really appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Our next award is Friend of Agriculture. For 46 years, when farmers in this region needed parts, they've headed to Rogers & Sons, North Road, Route 83, Cherry Creek. And when they needed gear, anything from a lawnmower to a tractor to a loader to an excavator, they headed to Rogers & Sons. And when they needed something and they weren't quite sure what they needed, they headed to Rogers & Sons. Maybe it was an encouraging word, pat on the back, advice to solve a problem, but anyway, the destination always seemed to be Rogers & Sons. Any day you'll find wife Jan helping customers or doing the books, son Ken managing the agricultural shop, son Mike running small engine lawn and garden snowmobile repairs, son Bob managing sales and parts, and in the middle of it all is Clyde. Clyde Rogers, a fixture in the Cherry Creek community, not only for the business that he founded, but for his support for so many other aspects of life in this rural area. Deep breath here. Town board, town supervisor, the antique tractor pull, Cherry Creek snowgoers, VFW, fire department, farm bureau, Chautauqua County Ag Day, and 45 years buying animals at the 4-H meat animal sale. Clyde, how do you do it all? For the program today, Clyde was asked what's coming, and he said, the future is bright. We work every day to continue doing a better job for our dedicated customers and improve our local agriculture. The Farmer-Neighbor Committee presents its Friend of Agriculture Award to Clyde Rogers and family, Rogers & Sons of Cherry Creek. Somebody calling for parts, I think. Could be. I'm going to get out of the scene, guys.
Lisa told me I was supposed to get up here and say something, but she also told me to stand up to be seen, speak up to be heard, and shut up to be appreciated. I want to thank the committee, but most of all, I want to thank my wife. 52 years, right? Our 3 sons, they made it work. Anybody in the ag business has had tough years, good years, bad years. The one thing I remember, old Richard Nixon, if any of you older people remember him, the one thing he said was, just because you lose the fight, you don't mean you have to quit fighting. And that's the way the whole ag business has been. So thank you so much. Our future, my first thing I want to do is stay another few years with her, maybe make 60. We want to continue doing business with the ag community. and it'd be my goal to have these three guys behind me standing here someday. Thank you. He's the big one.
Move over, we don't bite. Thank you. On behalf of Senator Borello, thank you so much. I enjoyed seeing you at the county fair.
Yes.
Livestock auction, that was amazing. That was a testament to agriculture, a showcase for sure. I enjoyed it tremendously. I enjoyed watching the youth come up and parade their animals
That's
around.
her.
Yeah, she is our youth, yes. But it was amazing. It was a great day. It was very entertaining, and also it was great to see the accomplishments of our Chautauqua County agricultural community, bringing out their young people to continue generations ahead. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of the congressman, he just asked me to come and bring you this certificate of congressional recognition. And on behalf of Assemblyman Goodell, here's one from
Thank you so much.
Goodell and all his colleagues. in the
Thank you,
Assembly.
everyone.
Let us continue with our awards tonight. This is the 6th Farmer-Neighbor Dinner in Chautauqua County, and the first time an Agricultural Impact Award has been presented. It creates an opportunity to recognize and honor a person, a family, an institution whose efforts have been felt throughout the farm community, or the community at large. The first ever Agricultural Impact Award is going to Ted and Kathy Card and family of Moon Meadow Farm, Moon Road, just north of Jamestown. The past 25 years has been a period of growth for Moon Meadow, from just a couple of beef animals to now more than 50. Ted began his working career as a meat cutter at a firm in Sugar Grove. He and his wife, Kathy, went on to be successful in a number of other business enterprises, flowers, cemetery management, among them. With this history, they were ideally positioned as the pandemic hit a few years ago to embrace an emerging trend in customer preferences, locally produced and processed meat products. They got a glimpse of the future and put in place plans for a 20C licensed kitchen to cut and wrap meat at their farm. Moon Meadow Farm Custom Cuts and Butchering was born. They look to serve an ever-growing market of customers with quality meats from a short supply chain. Their children, Katie and Chad, have played key roles as well. I've had any number of conversations with Ted Card over the years. One of his favorite phrases, I think, is, "Why can't we have?" He has said to me and others, "Why can't we have people who know where their food comes from? Why can't we have a community that understands the value of agriculture? Why can't we have an event where people meet the farmers who produce their meats? Why can't we have a farmer-neighbor dinner?" For raising the questions and following up on the answers, the Agricultural Impact Award goes to Ted and Kathy Card and family of Moon Meadow Farm.
Thank you, everybody. This means more to us than anybody in this room could ever imagine. Like Dennis said just a minute ago, why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? We've always tried to help and try to teach and all that kind of stuff. But I think, as said here so much tonight, it's the family. On my way here tonight, I thought to myself, how blessed and how different this agricultural group is and what we have in our families. Everybody that's been here tonight has talked about their families. We are so blessed as ag producers to have our families. And that's what it is at Moon Meadow Farm. I break it, Chad fixes it. All right?
Pretty much.
I got a broken cow. We have a veterinarian that fixes it. I've been broken for a little over 35 years. She's still trying to fix me. Okay? But yeah, we did see a need for the meat and the local product and stuff like that. But just like everybody said, we didn't do it alone.
We have so many partners with us in this meat business. Matt Harper, he's here tonight. We work together on the hogs, the Peterson farm. We work together on corn and different things together. So again, everything that we do on our farm is collaborative. I've always felt that we can help each other, and that's what we should do, and that's what we love to do. So now our education turns a little bit. I've served on a lot of different boards. I was past president of New York State Beef Producers, and I've done a lot of different things. Now we've changed. Now we're educating the consumers. And some of us do that on a daily basis at our farms. But it's a challenge today to educate those consumers. One producer this year, I don't want any hamburger. Make that all into steaks, please. It don't work that way. Or my family really likes bacon. I want 90 pounds of bacon off that pig. Matt, did they make a pig that big yet? No, I didn't think so. But it's fun for us to educate the consumers now of where their food comes from. We're proud to say that we're trying to make a good product for them. And we're out there voicing every one of you of being so proud to be an agriculture producer. And without my family, I couldn't have done it with you, without them, and I certainly couldn't have done it without this family either. So thank you very much.
Thank you for everything you do on behalf of Senator Borello. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're what makes our fabric what it is. It's high quality.
Thank you.
On behalf of Congressman Nick Langworthy, here's another certificate for your pile here, and on behalf of Assemblyman Andy Goodell.
Thank
from
you.
the New York State
Thank
Assembly.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, God, we got one more. Hold on.
Now we-
I was in a rush.
Kathy's always saying, read the sign. I now I can see what she means.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so much.
Yes. Hey!
Look, we're not done yet. Oh, my God. Oh, well, we told him to make it short and sweet. What are we doing, Lisa?
I think we're supposed to promote those milestones.
Oh,
yeah.
September 17th is a Sunday from 1 to 4. We are opening our meat shop up for our grand opening. We're going to have some vendors there. Anybody that would like to come and maybe talk about your goods and your farm are welcome. We are going to cook up some of our product and have samples so that y'all can taste what we do, and we'll talk about why we do what we do. Caitlin, our vet, will have talk about our protocols and, again, why we do what we do to make everything good for you. And we'll have farm tours if anybody wants to see the different farm sections that we have. And everybody wants to know how those marshmallows end up in a field. We're going to have our wrapper there and show these people what a marshmallow is.
It's all a part of Cornell's barn doors open that day. There'll be farms throughout the county open that day. So visit Cornell's website, and there's some other things going on that day. You can play some games on your phone, a little scavenger hunt kind of stuff too. So please come out and do that. I'll do one more plug as long as we're plugging along here. As everybody knows, Empire has a new owner now. Heidi is the new owner. Heidi Nichols is the new owner there. And if anybody here is interested to meet and greet Heidi, the second Wednesday of September, we have a get-together with her to meet and greet Heidi. It's open to everybody. It's sponsored by the Chautauqua County Beef Producers Group. You do not have to be a member. I've got flyers out there, or just simply call me to reserve a spot. We'll have a little bit of a dinner that night too. So it's a chance for everybody to meet Heidi Nichols. I know maybe there's some questions and concerns from the pork people, from the beef people, from the dairy people. A good chance to meet Heidi Nichols and everything she's wanting to do with changes at Empire Sale Barns. Thank you.
Next award for the Farmer-Neighbor Committee, Legacy Producer. The story of our legacy producer is one of hard work, persistence, resilience, and success. Roberto Fred moved from Puerto Rico at the age of 15. While engaged in the hard job of picking strawberries during his first summer here, he found something. Not necessarily in the strawberry patch, but in himself. He loved the idea of growing things. Working initially with the Joy Farm, Roberto started on his own with 47 acres of grapes in 1990. That was just the beginning. He and his wife, Milagros, added to their grape acres, added to their portfolio of products. Today, they are farming 188 acres of grapes, 5 acres of blueberries, 6 greenhouses, growing tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, radishes, fig trees, and much more. Much of what they grow is sold at their own farm stand and at 5 farmers markets. Recently, they've also started canning some of their products as well. The Freds have made community service a hallmark of their lives and business. Roberto's been a member of the board at Chautauqua County Rural Ministries. They donate regularly to the Forestville Pantry, the Friendly Kitchen, and any other benefit that reaches out to them. And they fed some 1,400 people at a Christmas in July event. The Freds credit their children and other family members for the help they have given in building and maintaining a successful agricultural operation. You can see Roberto Fred in the local documentary Foodways, Stories of Farms, Food, and Resilience. And you can see him right here as well, as the Farmer-Neighbor Committee presents its Legacy Award to Roberto and Milagros Fred of the Fred Farm, Temple Road, Dunkirk. Let me give you a microphone.
Okay. Yeah, come on down here. There you go. Well, thank you for giving me the honor of taking this award. I wasn't expecting it, and I will keep trying to keep making things better, grow more so everybody can eat. Thank you.
Thank you everybody for this. He deserves it because he get up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the greenhouse, pick the stuff, and go to the market to take care of our customer. Thank you very much.
On behalf of Senator Borrello, thank you so much for your dedication. Your farm is beautiful. Oh yeah, I've been there before. And I love your eggs. I crave those eggs. They're fluffy and fresh. Who doesn't love eggs? I live on them. So that's my secret. But on behalf of Senator Borrello, thank you for everything you do, and thank you for participating earlier in his crusade to fix the Nourish New York program with the Department of Health. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much.
Again, I was able to meet you today at Rural Ministries, where you donate several hundreds of dollars worth of food. So thank you so much. And on behalf of Congressman Langworthy, there's a certificate from him. And this is from Assemblyman Andy Goodell, who you also met this afternoon at the last minute there. He came late as usual. Thank you so much.
There's one other person here who's going to take the microphone for a moment, if you don't know her. Lisa Kempesty from Cornell Cooperative Extension.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here this evening with so many of you that I know and so many that I'm afraid I don't know. But thank you for joining us, and at this time, please join me in thanking Mr. Dennis Webster for emceeing our program. I have had the pleasure to know Dennis for how many years, Dennis? A few. 39, I think, for me. And he's just wonderful. I just think the world of him. So speaking of years, can anyone think 40 years ago? Well, some of you are so young, I know. 40 years. Well, this year is the 40th year of the Dairy of Distinction program. And, sorry, Haley is demonstrating the Dairy of Distinction sign here. And this is, I'm sorry, Lindsay. I knew I was going to do that. Lindsay. I told you to show your face. Lindsay all day. So our Dairy of Distinction sign indicates a very well-kept farm. And you can see that it's very colorful, red, orange, and yellow with a red barn as well as black lettering. And it also, some of them have a number here in the center of the barn for the number of years that they've received the award. And a little bit about the Dairy Farm Beautification Program, or the Dairy of Distinction Program. It is to recognize farm families who have attractive, well-kept farms that promote a positive image of our dairy industry. All active farms in New York State are eligible to apply for the Dairy of Distinction Award, and the winning farms receive this very colorful Dairy of Distinction sign to display at their roadside. The Dairy of Distinction program is based on the concept that attractive farmsteads enhance consumer confidence in our dairy industry. As we know, the dairy industry is very, very important to Chautauqua County. Most importantly, the award recognizes the hard work and efforts of farm families. So to apply for the award, an application must be submitted by April 15th of each year, and roadside farm judging takes place in May, and the farm is recognized during June. So this evening, it's my honor to present this Dairy of Distinction Award for 20 years, I do not have the 20 years emblem on it, to a dairy farm in Cherry Creek, New York. Unfortunately, the family had a conflict and was unable to join us. But this sign with a 20 right in the center of that red barn will be going to Dennis and Lori Emke of Pickup Hill Road in Cherry Creek, New York. So let's give them a hand. So we have some other anniversary farms I would like to recognize that are in this room this evening. So if you can just please stand at your table. Some of them may want to say a few words, some may not, I'm not sure. This table over here to the left worries me a little bit. So first of all, I would like to recognize Nelson Noble's farm, previously owned by his late father, Herb. And the Nelsons received the award in 1984, so they are a 39-year farm. And I would just like to ask the farm, everyone represented by the Nelson farm to stand up. I know Nelson could not join us this evening, but let's give these folks a hand. So do any of you do any of the mowing or all of the groundskeeping? Anyone want to admit that? I think they all are involved. Okay. Congratulations. Please pass that on to Nelson. Cab High Farm in Clymer, New York. Dave and Brenda White and family, and they are here this evening. They received the award in 1986, so they are 37 years Dairy of Distinction. If you could please please stand, Dave and Brenda. Congratulations. And also the Ormond Farm. Tom, Lonnie, and Robin Ormond and family are here this evening. They received the award in 2009, so they have had the award for 14 years now. If the Ormond family could please stand and be recognized. And I have to say, there's one of our other youth that have grown up through 4-H. Stand up again, Dexter. Dexter was one of my little 4-H members, and I'm proudly now in my 39th year of extension, and he's done a great job in the 4-H dairy program, went off to Penn State, wasn't Cornell, but it's okay, Dexter. But he's back at the home farm, and let's give a round of applause for Dexter. Pretty soon they're going to ask him to be serving on the 4-H Dairy Advisory Committee, but he doesn't know that yet. Don't tell him. Okay, the next farm is Country Air Farms in 2019, so they have received the award now for 4 years. If Heather and Edie Wittes could please stand, let's congratulate them. And the Country Air is located in DeWittville, New York. Let me back up a little bit. Ormonds are located in Kennedy. So congratulations to all of you, and especially to Dennis and Lori Emke from Cherry Creek. I was just so proud when we had Clyde Rogers and his family being recognized, and also the Emke family. And it's a great honor. These families work so hard with their dairy businesses. And again, congratulations. Thank you very much. And thank you, Lindsay. You can just bring it. You can bring it.
I'm going to look over to the chair here for just a second. I think that concludes all of our official business for the evening. Thank you all once again for coming to the Farmer-Neighbor Dinner. We hope that you'll be back next year. We hope that the day will be just as gorgeous as this one has been for next year's event as well, but that's expecting a lot, 365 or so days away.